Hello my squidlings, it is Katie here, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing something really chill, so I hope that you'll grab your sketch pad or a drink and just kind of watch with me, chill out with me. Today is going to be pretty chill, but today I wanted to do something fun and I wanted to make a custom art palette. This is video 1 out of a 4-part video series, so look forward to that. But I want to customize this palette to be like a seasonal palette, and this has 24 empty half pans, so I want to dedicate 6 like colors to each season. I know it's kind of ambitious, but not really. But I thought it would be fun, and so today we're going to be filling a quarter of this with spring colors, and then next time we'll do summer, fall, winter, etc. And I'm really excited about that. So these are just meant to be super chill videos, so I hope you'll just kind of join me. I'm going to be picking out the colors and kind of going through my process of why I picked them. I don't know why I'm trying to keep this box intact. I really don't need to. But we're kind of talking today also about this Arteza palette. So Arteza did send this to me for free just to kind of review, make a video out of if I want, and yeah. So again, this is just an empty palette. I really like their newer palettes. They've got 4 mixing wells here. They've got 8 mixing wells down here, and I like this squared off. And it's a slight gray color. You probably can't tell that in the video, but it is a slight gray color. And then it comes with a bunch of empty pans pre-installed. So I am really excited to just play with this. And this seems really nice. And of course you can take this part out. And you've got more mixing space if you want it. But yeah, so I'm excited to test this out, give you my opinions on it, which I think there's not going to be much to say. I think it's really nice. And we're just going to fill some pans and chill out and have fun. So let's get to it. Alright, so I'm going to be picking through all of my different watercolors to figure out which ones I want to use. Now I'm only going to be picking out 6 colors like I already mentioned, and this one I'm going to be doing with the spring theme in mind. So I'm looking for bright colors, but I also want them to work well together, and I'm going to try to not have any duplicates across the palette, so that's one thing I want to keep in mind. So let me start kind of fishing through these and we'll get started. The first thing after picking the colors I wanted to do was to actually test the palette together and see how it mixed. So I just kind of loosely created this color mixing chart. It's super easy. So basically what you do is you just create boxes. You can do it a few different ways. You can create however many by however many. So for instance I had 6, so I made a 6 by 6 square. Or you can even do a 7 by 7, so you can actually fit your initial colors in their own boxes. I didn't do the 7 by 7, I just did a 6 by 6. And I just put my initial swatches on the side there, and then I mixed them together. So how I mixed it is everything on the left side of the invisible diagonal line, so the one with no paint, is mixed with a little bit more of the color on that side. So for instance, the first one next to the quinacridone red on the left side is mixed with a little bit more red, and it has a little bit of yellow. And then the opposite side is true. So on the right side is mixed with a little bit more of the other color. So the opposite side of that would have been a little bit more yellow compared to the red. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense to me, but I hope it makes sense to you. But I really just wanted to see how compatible these colors were together. And I feel like the first question you may have, especially if you know how palettes work together, is why in the world did you add two very similar blues plus a very kind of similar green? And I actually had a reason for that. So I love cobalt teal. It's one of my favorite paint colors. And the Centerist Blue and the Cobalt Teal mix very similar colors. However, the Cobalt Teal granulates, whereas the Centerist Blue does not. At least it doesn't for me. So I really wanted that granulation in the palette, so that's why I wanted the similar colors there. And I just liked the way the Viridian mixed, especially with the Win Red. So that was my reasoning for that. But overall, I really like this palette. You can mix some really nice earthy colors, but you also get some really nice bright colors, and I feel like this definitely spoke spring to me. Again, that's just personal. That's why I made it a personal palette. Let me know what you think of this palette in the comments. If you love it, if you hate it, I suppose. I personally really like it, and I suppose that's all that matters. But anyway, I'm really excited to create future palettes of this. But anyway, let's go ahead into the illustration and talk about that. Alright, so now we are into the illustration portion of the video, and that's just where I'm testing out the paints and putting them on a piece of paper. So this is actually a sketch that I had sketched out a while back. I was kind of trying to do a daily sketch series. You can see it on my Instagram, and I think I posted on Twitter too, but I ended up falling off the wagon. But that's okay. I just didn't really have the time, if I was honest. But this is one of the pieces that I thought really suited this palette, so I decided to go ahead and paint it. I really like this piece in general. I don't think I personally painted it well. I think that I butchered it in a couple of spots, and I'll talk about that when I get to it. But overall, I think this palette really suited the picture that I painted, and I really like how the colors work together, so I am really happy about that. And personally, I think that this palette's a win, and I don't know. So do you guys make your own palettes at home? Do you like try to customize your own, or do you just buy pre-mixed, not pre-mixed, but like pre-made ones? Let me know in the comments below. I do both. I like making my own palettes, but I also really like buying other palettes so I don't have to do any of the brain work. But anyway, another thing I really liked about this palette is that I put a red and a green in there, so I could mix some nice complementary colors. Of course, I could have with the blues as well, but I think the Viridian and the Quin Red really worked together to make a neutralized tone, but they didn't work 100%. It always had a little bit of a hint of the other color, which is totally fine. So let me talk about how I think I butchered the piece. So I went in with the burnt sienna really watered down to make the base of the skin tone. And when shading it, instead of trying to mix a shadow color, I used more burnt sienna, which I don't think worked very well, because that's just not personally how I paint. And then I ended up having to layer up a different color, and I made it kind of muddy. Now, when I stopped and let it dry a little bit, it wasn't as bad, but like right here, it's really, really muddy and just, it's a disaster. But it's not so bad after it's been dried and all that stuff. So maybe it's just the paper, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. It's probably that one. But anyway, I really like the piece, and I really love these colors together, and yeah, I mean, that's really all there is to say about it. To talk about the Arteza palette really quick, it's an empty palette. I mean, you can't really go wrong with an empty palette. It's nice, it's sturdy, it does clean up well. It says it cleans up well, and it actually does, so that's nice. But don't worry, it'll stain, it's no big deal. It has so much mixing space, which I absolutely love, and again, it comes empty, pre-filled with the pans, so I think that's just phenomenal. And I really like empty palettes, because I get to customize them however I want. You can take them out super easy. You can put different half pans in. It's a great time. And if you're interested in getting one of your own, there is a link down in the description below. I also have a coupon code if you're interested in, using the coupon code for that. You get 10% off your entire Arteza order, and yeah, I mean, what's not to love about that, am I right? Also, really quick side note, I do want to let you all know that my Patreon is open for July 2020, and if you're interested in getting any of the rewards that I offer over there, I offer a ton of stuff like prints and stickers. I'm doing acrylic charms every month now, original art, any of that stuff. There will be a link in the description below, as well as a card on the screen if you're interested. I know times are hard right now, so any and all support, even just here on the channel by commenting and liking and subscribing, is super greatly appreciated. So don't feel the need to support if you can't. I understand. If you do check it out, I really appreciate it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had a fun time chilling out with me and making a palette together. And if you ever make a palette, let me know in the comments below what colors you put in it. Alright, I love you all so incredibly much. I hope you guys stay safe and happy and healthy, and hope you have a great day. And until next time, my adorable squidlings, toodaloo!